Alright, it's day 5 of the lockdown, and today I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to make your videos stand out of the crowd with some quick editing. So I would advise you to watch the whole video. If there are some things that take a bit longer, it's because I want to make a point at that time. So really watch the whole video and you'll understand why. So I've made a short review on this iPhone XR. I took some shots, I made some sentences on camera, and now we're going to edit these and see what goes wrong or what goes right. So first main tip is keep the pace. There are 4 things you can do in keep the pace tip I'm going to give you. So over here, let's just merge these clips. This is maybe already a good tip for someone who doesn't know this. If you already have an audio file over here, which should be merged connected to the video file, then you just merge these, and it's going to use the audio to synchronize and remove the audio from the video. So as you can see, that's already merged. I just drag it here and then you can see. So this is an iPhone. That's completely correct. So first tip on keep the pace. If you have pauses between the things you say, it might affect the fluidity of your video. So the pace of your video. You can play with the pauses or you can cut them out if you want to. So this is a bad example of how to use a pause during your sentence. So it has a 6.1 inch screen with a liquid retina HD. As you could have heard, this part over here, that's like 2 seconds you already lose. And imagine having a viewer which only has an attention span of 3 seconds. You only have 1 second left to keep his attention over there. And you have 2 seconds of emptiness. No sound, no nothing. Not good. However, you can fix this quickly if you would want to. You just cut this out like this. And now let's see this same video. So it has a 6.1 inch screen with a liquid retina HD display. You can also play with the pauses. So let's just look at this one. As of right now, you're going to pay a bit more than $700 for this iPhone XR, which is a bit cheap for Apple. So I played a bit with that pause just to let you have a cliffhanger, which is a bit cheap. So pauses, we already know that. That's clear. So second tip in making a bit of pace in your videos is making a script or just redoing some sentences if they are not good enough for you. Let's just check this one out. So although this is an LCD screen, it still has the true tone display. Boring. People don't want to see that, don't want to hear that. Now let's listen to the revised part. So I did it again with a better sentence. So although this is an LCD screen, it still has the true tone display. Right, that was way better. Now the third tip, if you want a bit more pace, a bit more fluidity, then you can have the little zooms. If you've probably already seen them in my videos, just check this out. So we have this video over here. 6.1 inch screen with a liquid retina HD display. It's pretty much okay, but we can just change this up a little bit if you would want to. So if you just, in the middle over here, give this a bit of an effect. So we put this on a scale of 105. Then you will already see a difference. So it has a 6.1 inch screen with a liquid retina HD display. That's already a bit smoother, a bit more fun to look at because you see changes in the image you're seeing. If I would play 5 seconds of me just talking like this, that would be a lot to look at, and that would be so annoying and so boring, and you're probably already clicking away. But don't click away, let's just do the same thing now with the zooms. So this is me, I'm talking for about 5 seconds, this is a zoom, and this is zooming in a little bit on a small pace, and it's already way better than the previous video I did before. Of course, what can you do with a bit of music? Let's just put a bit of music in here. So I mostly use some beats from SoundCloud with not a lot of vocals on the background because that might be a bit of an issue when you're talking, for example. But just some chill music, some good paced music, like that's good for listening on the background. So I mainly put this on minus 25 or 27 dB. So let's just hear the difference over here. So this is an iPhone XR. I've been using it for no music. The past year, and it's one of my favorite mobile devices I've ever used. It's boring. Now with music. So this is an iPhone XR. I've been using it for the past year, and it's one of my favorite mobile devices I've ever used. So now with music and with a long zoom, as you can see, That's very easy. You just use some key points over here.
So this is an iPhone XR. I've been using it for the past year and it's one of my favorite mobile devices I've ever used.
So that's already a lot better than the video was before. Now the second big thing I want to talk about is use some effects. So you should have B-roll. We're also going to talk about that a bit further in this video. But if you have a bit of B-roll like pictures, videos or other stuff, for example, you can use an effect to get that swiping in your screen. For example, this one. This is the push effect on Premiere Pro. It's a very simple effect, but it can do a lot if you know how to use it. Like I just lower this a little bit so it goes a bit faster, and then on the out point as well. So with the push effect you can also choose if you want to make it come from the bottom, from the top, or other way around, or left or right. I just put it on the left side. Let's just see how this changes the video.
Mobile devices I've ever used. As of right now you're going to pay a bit more than...
So that was very easy. It only took about a minute to make and it already makes up for a bit of fluidity in the video as well. Now something I don't often use, it's a swoosh sound, a sound effect. A sound effect gives a bit more dynamic to the video if you're doing some kind of swiping or other effects. This is a sound effect which I don't normally use, but for your videos it might be interesting. Just look at this change as well.
Devices I've ever used. As of right now you're going to pay a bit more.
So that was a small sound effect, but it gave the feeling like it actually swooshes in the screen. So over here I'm moving a lot with my camera, as you can see, and it's a bit jiggly, so I can use the stabilize effect on Premiere Pro. So I have the warp stabilizer over here. The best thing you can do with the warp stabilizer is cancel over here, put it on 25. Just keep the settings, press analyze, and then it will be already a lot better. Of course, make sure if you film that you film slow enough so that you don't jiggle, or that you film in a wide frame as well. Don't film well zoomed in completely, because you'll have a lot of stutter and other movements. As you can see, it's already a big difference.
I've ever used. As of right now, you're going to pay a bit more.
That's awesome. Right, the third main tip is use slow-mo. Make use of slow-mo. It's simple to do and it creates a very nice effect when you're filming something. For example, this video, if you watch it on full speed, it's not that awesome. But if you just go inside the video, I've filmed this on 60 frames a second. My project is 25 frames a second. So I can do a smooth slow-mo. I just click on the right button, modify, interpret footage, assume this frame rate. You can see it's 60 frames per second. I assume a frame rate of 25. Click enter, and then you'll see already a very big difference in the video file. It's already a lot longer, as you can see, so let's just get the audio out there.
More than $700 for this.
And as you can see, this is in slow-mo, so let's have the movement over here. So this is a good movement, if you ask me.
The true tone display.
And then again, I use the warp stabilizer on this video. Click analyze again and you're already going to see a very big difference. Again, the push effect, maybe let's make it come from the top down now, and some other variations. Just check this out now.
Which is a bit cheap for Apple. So it has a 6.1.
That's very easy. I did this in 1 minute and it already makes sure that my video is a bit more fluid, that you don't see my face all the time, because that's the big thing. Make sure you have every 3 to 5 seconds a new image people can see. For example, you can see me talk for 5 seconds. Make sure after 5 or 3 seconds I'm zoomed in a bit, or the image has changed, or I'm sitting over here instead of over here. And that way you make it more speedy, you make it more fluent and easier to watch for your viewers, because the watch time is the most important time of the year. Now, last thing I want to say about this slow-mo is the speed ramp effect. You probably have already heard about this, and it's a very nice effect to have. Just check this video out. So again, this video is now on a regular pace on 60 frames a second, which are converted to 25. So let's just modify this, interpret footage 25, and then you're going to have a slow-mo, as you can see. Great. So I want a ramp slow-mo. What is a ramp slow-mo? The word actually says it, a ramp zoom. So you go fast or slow, you can choose. You go, for example, fast, like this, and then you go slow. That's a ramp slow-mo. So let's do the ramp slow-mo of this one. So I want to have this thing go fast. Okay, so I do the speed over here on 200, for example, which should be the regular speed. And then from that point I go slow.
This is an LCD screen. It still has the
like this. So it's fairly simple to do. I'm just going to give it a bit more speed as well. So 250, for example. So you're probably going to run into an issue when you want to have some more speed or some slow-mo when you change the speed of a clip. If you want to use warp stabilizer, there's an easy fix for that. You just select both, nest, okay, and then you have a different kind of video. You have the nested sequence, which you can use a warp stabilizer on, like this. 25, because 50 make sure that your video is a bit wobbly. We don't want that, so we put it on 25, let it analyze and let it stabilize, and it will already be a lot better than before. Right, so that's fixed as well.
6.1-inch screen with a liquid retina HD display. So although this
So I've used all the tips I gave in this video. Let's just check it out and have a quick overview of what we did. So this is an iPhone XR. I've been using it for the past year and it's one of my favorite mobile devices I've ever used. As of right now, you're going to pay a bit more than $700 for this iPhone XR, which is a bit cheap for Apple. So it has a 6.1-inch screen with a liquid retina HD display. So although this is an LCD screen, it still has the true tone display. That was a pretty good video. I enjoyed watching it and I'm already 25 seconds in. So I'm already watching for 25 seconds. That's a good job. Well done. Of course, you'll need to copy this process to every 25 seconds of your video. So it will be a bit of work, but you'll have a great video in my opinion. So let's just go over this. So the first thing over here, as you can see, is the zoom. It zooms in a bit. Sound effect. The push to the right. The stabilizing as well.
right now you're going to pay a bit more than $700 for this iPhone X.
The zoom, as you can see, and the pause, as you'll hear right now.
Which is a bit cheap for Apple. So it has a 6.1-inch screen with a liquid retina HD.
Over here, the cuts you can see over here are the pauses I took out, and I also redid the last part of this video. This is the ramp. As you can see, it will go fast at the start, and it will go slower at the end. So this is fast, and now smooth.
So this is an LCD screen, it still has the true tone display.
Also the music on the background, which gave a bit of fluidity as well to this video. So these are about, I think, 10 tips. I've counted them. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something. If you did, leave a like and leave a subscribe for more content. And let me know if you're going to use these tips in your videos and what content you make. I'd love to see your content if you have used my tips in your videos. I'd love to check them out and tell you what I think about them, if you'll let me or something like that. Right, I also want to apologize for my accent. I'm not English, so I tried my best talking English in this video. And I hope I'll see you tomorrow in my next video during this lockdown.